So this is Principles of Research, PAJ, H, K, J, and T. So check your registration and make sure you're in the right class. Otherwise, we'll have people here who are supposed to be in informatics or systems engineering or networks. Those are different classes, okay? Separate from this one. This one is computer science. And computer science, we have web and multimedia, we have technical applications, as well as software development. So we have 3 departments which were there before that are now combined into one called computer science. That's why there's those codes T, H, K, and J. So please make sure that you registered in the right course and you're in the right class, because it will be expensive to, go about those. Yes?
What class is this?
That's what I've been explaining. Seriously? That's what I've been explaining. You see? Yes?
Yes, I'm registered for this subject, but in software development.
Yeah, then you are in the right class. Software development is a department that is part of computer science now. Any other? No. I don't know software design, whether it's which department are you?
Multimedia.
Yeah, multimedia is also a part of this class, but I don't know how your timetable is. Did you enroll for Principles of Research?
Yes, I did.
Then you're in the right pipe. You're in the right class.
With another class that I'm supposed to.
Yes, there should be. I think so. Any other? Pardon? No, he's not here. This is not the class. Any other? Communication networks, another class. Computer systems engineering, another class. Informatics, another class. This is computer science. What?
Different departments, are they going to have different researches, or are they just
There is what we call discipline, and the orientation is totally different. Any other? We are set now. All are computer science. Is it? No one here is not computer science. Okay, so we don't want an issue, oh, I was in the wrong class or this or that. It's not supposed to happen at your level, seriously. You're at BTech level, that should not happen. You should be knowing exactly which class, which lecturer and what have you are going to be having. So we'll take the first 30 or so minutes, because he's going to record and then he can leave. Then I'll give you the other part of the criteria of assessment, and we go through the study guide and all that, so that you know what you are required to be doing. And also we'll talk about my tutor, which we are going to be using to communicate, to submit assignments, and also to access other resources that you may need. They are all there. They are all going to be in my tutor. So you don't have to be asking me to send you something. No, you just go to my tutor and you access it. So we are going to do this lecture as he records, then he can leave, then we can do that afterwards. Okay, so this lecture is coming as the first lecture, and the main reason why it comes now is for you to start with the assignment number 1. And that assignment number 1, we call it homework. Okay, so the homework is about a research topic. So as BTech students, you are going to be doing some research, which means we are introducing you to research. And you'll be doing a project in groups of 1. Yes. So that simply means that each and every group of 1 must decide on a topic he or she is familiar or good or meets the scope among other issues, of which that is what we are going to learn as we start now. So to introduce myself, my names are there. Office number 20219, and you can always email or visit if you want to have some discussions. Yes?
So last semester I had submitted a topic, and then you said we'll continue the semester because I had to deregister the subject. Can I still submit the very same topic, or should I find a new one?
You can submit the very topic, but if you are studying and moving forward, then I think there should be some developments from their side. Are you getting? Even a child that was born last year is now walking. You get my point? Yes.
I had registered the subject and I had to deregister.
I get you. I've answered you. And I hope you get my point. What I've said is that I hope you've done some developments, okay? Towards that. Yes, you are not just stuck. Okay? Yes. Okay, let's go on. So, we are going to look at choosing that topic, because this is going to be our first main lecture. And the reason we do it now is because we don't want to waste time. You are the end product of this course is going to be a proposal. Now that proposal requires you to have a topic. And so we need to know and understand how do we choose that project or topic. So there are normally sources, and they are normally a collection of proposals. And we must also know what is the criteria that we use to say this is a good proposal or this is not good. So we're going to look at that. So what are the sources of information? We have proposals by academic staff or department. In other words, you can walk into the department, one of the supervisors or staff members can give you a topic, and then you write a proposal on it. That becomes a source of what? A research project or topic. You get the point? Yes, we can have a department that we are working on this particular big project, and so you want also to do some research project, and we tell you, okay, come and join. You become part of the what? The department project. That is number 1. Then we have past projects. Past projects. When you go to the library, you'll find a lot of theses. Now TUT is putting those on website. So if you log in to TUT, you'll be able to see a number of dissertations as well as theses that have been written by previous students or past students that have done certain projects. Now those projects, they have a section which is called future work. Now that section called future work, you can always go into it and be able to understand and get to know what needs to be done. Are you getting the point? Yes, I'll give you an example. Someone did a project which is to detect crocodiles in River Limpopo, and he was using Bayesian network as well as swarm particle optimization algorithm, combined this and used Java programming language to program a system and used certain devices that you could put in the River Limpopo to be able to detect not a fish, not a human being swimming, but a crocodile in the river swimming like this, and be able to alert someone who is coming to collect water or someone coming with the cows to drink water that there is a crocodile coming in which may kill you. You get the project which is done. Now at the end, after he's written the story or the dissertation or the project report, he puts there under the future work and says, this project has been done, but we have not tested the accuracy in which it can be able to do what? To detect that crocodile. Are you getting the point? Then now you come in and say, I want to go on with this and improve the accuracy of this particular project. That is what I'm talking about here when I talk about past projects. You understand? Brainstorming. As you sit next to each other, you've got friends or whatever, and you're meeting here for the first time, you can always brainstorm. And the idea you come up with in your mind, you can always ask your friend, even your parents, even your wife or husband, what do you think about this? Remember, it doesn't necessarily also have to be someone in computing science when you are brainstorming. Okay? So you ask the person, what do you think of this idea? Do you think it can be a good one? Yeah, from there you can brainstorm and be able to come up with a nice topic. Remember, if the idea is not really exciting to the person you are speaking to, it is a flat one, you just need to stop from there. Yes. Because when you speak a good idea, somebody will nod or will be feeling like, wow, I didn't think of that, Are you getting that kind of response? Yes, if there is no that kind of response, know that the topic you are giving is flat. Yeah. I have to warn you also in brainstorming, when you brainstorm amongst each other, as per my experience, is that some students, you go brainstorm with him or her, and then he is the one who first do what? Sends me that particular topic. And then when you send yours, I say, no, you are copying. You see that? Yeah, so be careful whom you brainstorm with. Yes, some of the people here, they steal some other people's ideas. Okay. The next point is your own goals and learning objectives. Most of you here may be working in the industry, and therefore you've come back to study with a particular goal, which means you've got a plan. Now, what is that plan? What is it that you want to be? What is it that you are aspiring for? Now, those are what we call your own goals and learning objectives. Now, can you come up with a project that meets and takes you to that particular goal? Yeah, for example, you're working in the industry, you are what? Trying to help with the databases, right? Maybe Oracle. There are a lot of issues with databases. And therefore, as your area where you're working in, or your own goal is to maybe become very good database administrator. Therefore, what do you need to do? Lots of projects in that area. To do what? To improve your standing and to ensure that your goal is achieved. Reading about or working in the area. Yes, some of you are working in the industry. What are you working in? Which area? Some of you are data entry, some of you are support specialists, some of you are database administrators, some of you are programmers, some of you are security specialists in the industry where you're working. Therefore, can you enhance that area you're working in by taking a project so that it can improve and you become a better person in that particular area where you're working in? That is what it means by this point. In other words, you are a security expert in your industry, you are the one who checks all these issues. How do you improve that? Can you go on and take a project that can also improve you? Because it's an area you're already working in and you are very much interested in. which in other words, it means you are marrying your interest, your work environment, and your project. 3 things together. Very interesting. You will be very excellent. You will excel. Are you getting the point here? Yes, because you go to work is the same thing that you also like. Okay? And so you will be happy. And you are now doing a project in the area that you also like and you're working on. Wonderful, is it? Yes. Then we have the last source of information being systematic analysis of subject areas. So we have 3, which is research territory maps, relevance trees, and spider diagrams. These are also other sources in which you can look at for a research topic. So we have research territory maps. As BTech student, you have done software engineering. I don't know the name you call it, but this much I know that you have done software engineering. And therefore you know the support elements, you know the activities that takes place when software engineering process is going on. You know also the process models that you can use to perform or to develop a software engineering product. You also know the methods and techniques. You also know the stages in which a software takes or goes through. Right? Now this, if you can remember, or if I can give you analogy a little bit. 1990s, we didn't have certain process models that we have today. Yes, we didn't have them. We didn't have agile method. We did not have that. Today we have software engineering books in this area. Edition, I think 10 or 12, somewhere there. When I started, when we were doing this, 1990s, it was first edition, second edition by Roger Pressman and who? These are well-known authors in this area. Okay? So, what I'm trying to bring across here is that there has been developments. Now, these developments, they have occurred as a result of research in these particular areas that you see here. There has been research going on here under research process models. That's why we have newer process models like agile methodology. It wasn't there. And there are some which are still going to come as a result of what? Research. So this is why it is here as a territory map, which can also be a source of a research project that you may want to carry out. We have relevant trees. So I'm not sure, but some of you have done some of the artificial intelligence areas. So we have application areas, we have techniques, we have knowledge representation, and we also have philosophical issues that are with artificial intelligence. It is a very hot area. Sometimes it was, I can say it was in a slumber, but just came up in the last 2 years or so. And it is the main thing. If I quote Bill Gates, he says, "This is the threat to humanity. Artificial intelligence." If I quote another person, Jack Ma, I don't know whether you know Jack Ma, the inventor and owner of Alibaba. He says, we need to change the syllabus. We need to change the way we educate people. Otherwise, artificial intelligence is going to take your places. As we speak now, artificial intelligence is being used to develop a system which can program. You just need to feed in the requirements and it will program for you. Some of you are familiar with Wizard, which is already there. We are going ahead of wizard now. That simply means what? Your job is on the line as a programmer here. You see that? It is as a result of this. There are a lot of research areas in this area. Application areas, we can do certain mundane tasks, we can do the planning, we can do the vision and the robotics, of which you know the robotics which are already being used in hotels. We don't need waiters anymore. Do you know that? Yeah, we don't need waiters anymore. You go to an hotel, a robotic will greet you happily, ask you what you want to eat, and it brings it for you. Yeah, we don't need waiters anymore as a result of this. And research is going on because we still have to refine whatever robots that we already have to perform to the level of a human being. Okay. We also have pattern recognition as well as image processing. These are areas that we also have expert tasks where we have medical diagnosis as well as prediction. Lots of work is going on. Do you know something called big data? Yes. As we are moving with the technology, there is something taking place. Maybe you may not know, maybe you know it, that we are going to digitalize everything. You are going to have digital TV. South Africa is lagging behind, but they said by June this year, they will switch off or switch to digital TV. So analog TV will be a thing of the past. Now, once that takes place, it means as you watch your TV there, we can record, we can know, we can get data. Are you seeing? We are going to electric cars and driverless cars that we don't need a driver to be driving you around. You just sit and say, I'm going to Marabastad. And the car will move straight to Marabastad and stop. What does that mean? You already have your mobile phone. We can always track you where you are, which Facebook you went to, whom you communicated to, you know, all this kind of stuff. All that is data. And it is massive. Now that massive data, we apply this to be able to do what? To predict, to know what you like, to know which places you visit, to know which channel you watch every day, whether it is, you know, ETV or Channel 1, we can always know that and be able to market also accordingly. But another aspect that is coming in also is the home affairs, the security sector. They can now be able to know how many people are staying in your room or in your house. You see that? Whom are you harboring here? So in other words, it will be very easy for us to nab that suspect. You don't need to hide because it will be very easy for us to get you. Yeah, we already have CCTVs where you're getting into your house or getting wherever and it records you and all that kind of stuff. Now it can be able to record another person. But this just needs connectivity, which comes under what we call Internet of Things. Internet of Things. Nowadays we call it Internet of Everything. Yes, you can be here and you can watch or monitor your home, is it? Is that not internet connectivity? Yeah, there's a lot of research that has not been taken out there. You see, to improve certain aspects of even those kind of systems that we have in place. And this is aiding that artificial intelligence. So today you know of certain operations done by doctors, they no longer do them. Yeah, they no longer do them. They assign a robot and it will be able to do it. You see, they no longer do them. So if a doctor with a specialized training, certain tasks are already being done by what? Robots, machines. Yes, we need to think. So Jack Ma, what he said is making sense if you can take a time to understand what he was saying and what Bill Gates said also. So here is another aspect where you can get information for your title or project. We have software engineering, we are going back to that, and you know the activities that take place. We have documentation, quality, project management, as well as communication. Some of you may be in companies where you work, may be dealing with any of this. We have the standards ISO 9000, we have ISO 9126, which falls under the support, where we also have the tools. And you may have used this kind of tools, documentation tools, as well as the quality management, as well as the project management, of which we have very good common one, Microsoft project. Some also use SharePoint, among others. There are a lot of research or topics or work that you can get in those areas. We also have the methods, the techniques, the models, and the stages. You know the stages: analysis, synthesis, operations, as well as the retirement, which falls under the process of some of the process models, of which we have examples are waterfall, spiral, prototyping, as some of the what? Process models that you may be aware of. We also have agile methodology, we also have win-win, we also have incremental, among others. There's so many, is it? Oh, you are lost. Huh? You are lost. Okay, we have software system development, analysis, and management, and that. We also have techniques like JSP, DFD, object-oriented design, as well as prototyping, which comes also here with other techniques which we may also be knowing about: evolutionary, throwaway, incremental, experimental, as well as rapid. Of all these, there's still a lot of research and work going on, which means if you go and read about this, if you are interested in any of these areas, you can get information that leads you to a topic of your choice. Are we together? So these are the sources. These are the sources. Now, when you want to choose that project, what do you need to do? Choosing a project. The project needs to be within your capabilities. Yes. You are the one going to do it. Remember, group of one. So, you need to take a project within your capability. However, that aspect has always been taken to mean take something below your capability. No. You can't do a project that is fitting for a matric student while you are doing BTech. Are you getting the difference? You are not getting me. You are getting me. Yes, there's no way you are going to choose yes, I'm saying here, the project needs to be within your capabilities, but it does not mean you take something that is below your level. You are in this level of BTech, and therefore you are required to do a BTech level kind of project, not matric. Are we together? Yes, so projects like school management system, inventory management system, those ones live for the matric students. They're learning on how to use the database as well as the what? The user interface, which can be Java or Visual Basic or Delphi. Very interesting for them if they can be able to retrieve information from the database and display it, period. That is not a research. Are we together? So do not come with a project that is below your level. We are together? Yes?
So what if you see an opportunity within that area?
It will depend what opportunity, but remember what I'm saying. Capability does not mean now below. And that capability means BTech level, okay? Not diploma, not matric. Wow. Yes. You are at the BTech level, come on. And you've got to learn something new, is it? Yes. You've got to feel some weight. If you are climbing stairs, do you feel weight, is it? Yes. So it's not the same as you are standing on the same stair when you are climbing up. That's what it means. So you are now at BTech level, you must do something at BTech level, which is equivalent to BTech level. The next point is the project needs to have sufficient scope. That is the scope also we are talking about. You cannot just do something very little like this and say, oh, I'm done. No. We also have to determine that. What is the scope? As you know, some of us, we like shortcut, easy way, easy route. I always give this example. If I pour this water on top here, it will flow to the least resistance direction and pour down. So if it is that side, it will flow there. If it is this side, it will flow this side. Don't be like water. Okay? You've registered for BTech. Do not be like water to flow to the least resistance direction. Okay? Scope. Scope. Then the project needs to be to interest you, to be interesting to you. Yes. This is very important as well. As an individual, you're the one who is going to carry out that project. And if that project is not interesting to you, you're going to give up on the way. Remember, it's going to be at least 1 year, which means this 6 months for coming up with a proposal and the next 6 months for implementing everything and writing a project report. That is 1 year just doing one thing. If it is not interesting you, you will give up and you may not even be able to complete that project. So, in choosing a project, please make sure you choose a project that is interesting you. You also have interest in it. The project needs to have a serious purpose. Yeah, you cannot just tell us a project of, maybe I don't know doing what. Whatever the project is doing needs to be of serious purpose. Can it help people? Like I've given you an example here of detection of crocodiles in River Limpopo. Yes, you hear people dying there, crossing the river or this, or when they go to fetch water, among others. So how do we prevent that death? That's serious purpose. You see? So when you are choosing and coming up with a project, please make sure it has a serious purpose. The project needs to have a clear outcome. Yes, you've chosen a project. What is the outcome? At the end of your project, what will you have? Or what will you give? You see that? That is what is required. Serious outcome. Then the project needs to be related to your degree program. This is why I started by saying if you're not in computing science, please leave. And I believe that everyone that is remaining here is computer science. And so we are going to do the projects that are going to be related to the degree program that we are doing. However, some of you, because of the analogy of what I gave there, you are finding it difficult to get a topic of your own, so you go to your sister or your brother or your friend in informatics. Is it? Yeah, or at a place of work, you know someone who did something to do with computer. Computers are big, is it? We have informatics, those are also computers. We have information system, library system. They also call themselves computer, is it? Name it. But are they really computer science? Are they computer science? No. And so you, because you don't know, you'll go to informatics person and he gives you this nice topic. You send it to me and I say, no, this is not. Is it? We start arguing, is it? Yeah, that person may be doctor, also professor, or wherever it is. And there you've started doing what? Mixing doctrines, computer science and informatics, and you don't get anywhere. Are you getting the point? So, whatever project you are going to choose, it must relate to your degree program. That's why you are in this class and not in informatics. So, what is the difference between informatics and computer science? What is the difference between computer science and engineering? You need to find out, but I can give you a short description or explanation. One, engineering is concerned with design. Computer science is concerned with implementation. Informatics is concerned with consumption. Are we together? Yes. So here is an example. An engineer has designed, this is how we want this thing to work, and it will be able to give you this, and then they simulate. Then they say, now, can we implement it? Then a computer scientist comes and implements a system, say, that can, say, detect some intrusions into the what? Into the network, okay? So we want to find who is intruding into the network, who is not supposed to log into our network. Then they implement that system, put a network there, and see how these things will be happening. That is computer scientists. Now, informatics a guy comes and says, we want to study this system, how it can be adopted, how people can use it properly to maximize their productivity at place of work. Are you hearing? Yes, that is what they do. They never develop anything. They will just do what? Study that. Adoption. What? Usability. Name it. You see that? Now you come with a project on that area and you want to be computer science. Then I will say no. Then you'll start arguing, is it? So now you know the difference. So get this point clear. Must relate or must be related to your degree program. The last point is the resources. As you're choosing a project, make sure that what are the resources required? Do you have them, or can the department provide them? If not, then you need to choose another one. Say you are choosing a project that requires you to have or buy this kind of, drone which is costing, say, 100,000. And the department simply doesn't have 100,000 to buy just one drone for one student, for one project. You get the point? So you need to be careful of the resources. That's why when we are choosing, we also have to have that in mind. Now you have chosen, we are assuming you have chosen your topic. So what? So what? Is the topic meaningful? Yeah, you have your project, topic, and everything. Is it meaningful? Now you are trying to find out whether it is suitable or not. Is that topic meaningful? Will it be of value to anyone, or just of value to you, you want to pass BTech? Are you getting my point? You just want to pass BTech, and therefore it's just of value to you, not anyone. If it is not of value to anyone, it is useless. You don't need to go with it. Yes, why do we do research? To solve societal problems, to increase the body of knowledge, or contribute to the body of knowledge. Now, if those are not happening in the research that you are trying to do, then you better not do it. You get the point? What contribution will it make? When you finish, for example, the example project I gave you here of detecting crocodiles in River Limpopo, for sure, you will save some lives there, is it? Yes, some lives will be saved there. At the same time, that particular project can be replicated somewhere else. We can use it to detect also crocodiles in River Zambezi. You see that? Yeah. And it will help people along River Zambezi or particular area. Justification. Can you explain the project and justify it in simple terms? And this, not just to your computer scientist peer, not just to your manager somewhere or your supervisor, but to that lay person, that magogo, who is a thumbs up, has never gone to school, can only sign by using a thumbs up. And you explain the project you're trying to do to her or him, and he is able to understand. That is the start of justifying why that topic is suitable. Are you getting the point? Yes, I do supervise PhD students, master students, and some of them you'll find they don't even know, they cannot even explain to you the topic they are doing in simple terms. This is one of the points you need to justify. If you can go and explain to that lay person what you are trying to do by detecting crocodiles in River Limpopo, and he will be able to understand, that's it, you will justify the topic. Estimating your understanding. Can you put a figure to what you know in the topic or the area that you have chosen? It's not about just getting a topic, but what do you know? Because that is going to be tested. And in this kind of study, as from now, when you go to masters and PhD, it is all about you. You set your own question and you answer it. Are you getting? Yes. We don't ask scope and what have you. You set your own question and you answer it. You see, the interesting aspect is that the supervisors, the assessors, they've already gone through that. So they will just tell them how you got there. You explain the steps, the procedures, and will be able to be marked. The question you set, how you've answered it. Did you answer everything you said there or not? That is what can determine whether you fail or pass. The next point is contacts. Contacts. Yes, you'll be having difficulties here and there. You need to have contacts of the people that can help you to complete that particular project. This can be your supervisor. This can also be the people in the industry. Like, for example, one of my students is doing masters and he works for MTN. He used to work for telecom when he started. So the work that he's supposed to be doing involves getting data from telecommunication systems. This means Vodacom, MTN, Cell C, and Telecom. Now, the question is, when he proposed that topic, do you know someone, before we start with this particular project, that you will be able to get data from either of these 4 telecommunication companies? It's very crucial, because without that data, you are not going to be able to complete the project. So yes, he managed and we got data from MTN. That is very important. Contacts. Now the supervisor, is he available? Can he be able to help you? And all that kind of stuff is also very crucial, because certain areas, certain times you may have doubt. And that's where the supervisor comes in to be able to clear such doubt. Then project proposal, of which is the output of this particular course. At the end of it, we'll have a project proposal. Any question on that? Okay, second last slide. Preparing project proposal. How will you prepare one? We have implicit and explicit content of a proposal. Now, a project proposal, under implicit contents, we have introduction to the subject area. Maybe, what do you mean by implicit? It is implied. Nobody will tell you. Okay? For those who are doing HCI, we call it affordance. You know what affordance is? Yeah, it's implied. If a chair is there, you come in, it's implied you're supposed to sit on that chair, is it? Do you wait for me to tell you sit? If you want to go out, there's a knob there. It's implied you'll have to pull or push that knob in order to get out, is it? Yeah. So we have implicit content, which no one will tell you, but you should be knowing that you are supposed to introduce the subject area of the topic that you are talking about while writing a proposal. So you set the context of the project, and you should motivate the relevance of the subject area. Are we together? Yes, sometimes I've received proposals where introduction area is just 2 lines. 2 lines. Do you think those 2 lines can cover what we're just talking about here? No, can't. But it's simply maybe we don't care. You just want to pass your BTech and go, is it? Yes, overview of current research. The next point is overview of current research in the area. Here you need to demonstrate the current activities that is taking place in the subject area that you have chosen. What is going on? The whole world. Remember, it's not only South Africa or not only TUT you are going to talk about. The whole world. So if we are talking about AI, artificial intelligence, the whole world, what is going on? Do you understand? Can you demonstrate? And you also need to show your understanding of the current research. Very important, because that is where your basis of argument is going to be derived from. So if you don't know what is there currently, then you are likely copying what someone has done. You get the point? Yes, you're likely copying what somebody is doing in Japan or in America or in Zimbabwe. You see that? We don't want that. That leads to what we call plagiarism. And there's a very serious policy about that, which can also lead to your expulsion from TUT. Identify the gap. You see, you've read all this, you've done all this. Now you are able to identify the gap after you know what is happening currently. You see, then you can be able to identify this one, nobody has gone this route, so let me go this route. Or someone has gone this route, but it didn't manage to go that far. I want to take it that far. Are you getting the point? That becomes the gap. So that gap will need further research or investigation. And that is what we are talking about here. So after you identify how your work will fill the gap, then you need to also explain how your project fills that gap. You've identified the gap. Now how does your work fill that gap? People have done this work. Now mine, I want to fill this particular gap which has not been done. And this is how I want to fill it. Then identify the risks and solutions. What are the benefits that you're going to derive from this particular project? Can you identify? What about the risks that are there? Yes, in anything that you do, there will be risks involved. We know that. We understand, or you don't understand? Yes. So, in your project that you've chosen, now the implicit aspect is that there will be risks, and those risks you need to determine what if that risk occurs. What are you going to do? It's a topic of its own that we are going to be discussing later into details. How and what type of risks that you are likely to encounter as a BTech student doing this kind of project. Then account for the risks to your project. The last aspect is explicit content. Title. You need your title to be clear, concise, and preferably no acronyms. Okay? So you want to do or investigate the IP version 6. Don't just write the IP version 6, no. Write it in full for the title purposes. Aims and objectives. Aims. This will be broad statement of intent. Broad statement of intent, where you are going to identify the purpose of the project that you want to do. That is what? Aims. Many a times we confuse aims and objectives. They are different. One is above the other. Okay? Objectives. Here you need to identify specific measurable achievements. Specific measurable achievements. If you understand those words, then we are clear what we mean by objectives. Specific, measurable, and achievable. Yes, sometimes we may have an objective that we can't measure. That is not objective. Yes, it must be measurable. And it should be achievable. And it also must be specific, not generic. You get the point? When you woke up this morning, the objective was to come to TUT. Could you measure it? Yes. Can you achieve it? Yes, you've achieved it. You are here. You see? Was it specific? Yes. You didn't say you are going to UJ. You said TUT. Shosanguve, not even Pretoria campus. You get the point? Specific. That is what we mean here. So we have quantitative and qualitative measures by which we can do that. So, as a computer scientist, most of the work we'll be doing is quantitative, which means we'll use quantitative measures to be able to measure the objectives that you'll come up with. However, it does not mean that is like you are not or you cannot have qualitative. Okay? But majority, 99, 98, 90% is the work we do in computing science is quantitative. Okay? Expected outcomes or deliverables. You need to identify what will you produce at the end of your project. What are you going to submit? Are you just going to submit some stories which do not make sense? Or you are going to submit specific information of what you've achieved and you are delivering? That also needs to be very clear in your proposal when you're writing a proposal. Then we have keywords. Keywords is what you'll be used to search that particular document. If you write your report, it will be stored somewhere, and the people coming behind you can always search and retrieve that particular document using the keywords. So keywords will identify the topic areas that the project draws on. So if I say a project of detection of crocodiles in River Limpopo, you'll hear their detection. You'll hear their crocodile. You'll hear their River Limpopo. You get the point? Yes. Now if somebody types River Limpopo, he will be able to get your document. Crocodiles will be able to get your document. Detection will be able to get your document. That's an example of keywords I'm talking about. Then another keyword can also be you're using AI, Bayesian network, to be able to do the detection. Therefore, Bayesian network becomes another keyword in your project or proposal, which means if we type Bayesian network, we'll be able to retrieve your document. So it's very crucial, very important to have keywords. Introduction, the background or overview of the work that you're doing. Here you are supposed to give us the overview of the project, where you're supposed to identify the research questions, hypotheses, elaboration of the aims that you're trying to achieve. Then you're supposed to motivate the project. Then you're supposed to motivate for why you are conducting the project. There are two motivations there, is it? Are you seeing we have two motivations here? Yes. We'll come to that, and I have already a template of this proposal whereby I have combined this explicit and explicit into one, because sometimes what we call common sense is not common to everyone. Yes. So what we put here implicit is not implicit to everyone. You get the point? Yes. So I've put it explicitly into your proposal so that you just need to fill in those sections. The next point is related research. This is where you are going to identify the other people who have done some work in that particular area. So those works, what are they talking about? What did they do? How did they do what they have done, which is related to yours? What are the results that they got? And how is their work similar or different from what I want to do? Are you seeing that? Those are four aspects that you will be looking at when you are talking about related research. Then we have methodologies. So as computer scientists, our methodologies are very clear. And there will be a document which you will be summarizing later on. It's about research methodologies that are used in computer science. One of them is simulation, implementation, or prototype development, or prototyping, among others. You see? So those are methodologies that you can apply here and use to perform your study or to complete the project that you're doing. Then research requirements. So you need to identify what is it that you require. Data, software, the hardware. You need to identify those and know what is it that you need. And you'll be identifying those while writing your proposal. Project plan. They say if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So you must have a project plan. How are you going to do the things that you want to do? You need to spell that clearly in the proposal. And when do you want to do it? So the project plan is a detailed timetable that will be able to tell us when you are going to do X, Y, Z, when you are going to deliver this, and when you will be able to complete the project. Any question? I didn't get your question. Come up again.
What is the objective of the class? Is it to produce the proposal
Here we are going to learn the principles of research. What is it that we need to know in order to be able to do a good research? That we are going to learn here. First of all, the first class we have just completed, which is about choosing a topic. You want to do a research. How do you choose a research topic? How do you get to it? This is what we have learned here right away. So it's a first step. Now, I am teaching that. You are seated there, you have been taught. Now you are supposed to implement. How do you implement? You are supposed to choose a topic of your own in a group of one in order to start the process of writing and coming up with a proposal which is going to be the end product of this particular course.
Would that be the initial assessment for the school class? The actual proposal?
No, there will be other things. There will be other issues, there will be other aspects. I'm just giving an example, but it will be the main thing, that proposal. Which means when you get to project, you are going with the proposal, which is going to be what? The input. Yes, you are computer science, you understand what we mean by input, process, and output. Yeah.
So we have to think of a topic now.
It starts now. There's no way any time we are wasting. Now, ngoku mbuti, ngoku. Of Internet of Things. It's an area and it's very big. There are a lot of things that can be done there. Okay, if I give you an example, what we did with one of my master students was to automate the network, where we already have a network, home network. Okay. Now that home network, sometimes it can have issues. So he was working on the ZigBee, which is a network technology used for the home network. And he was trying to optimize. There can be a case whereby you are at home, you are say 5, or say let's take 3 of you. Okay? Now 3 of you, you have mobile phones, somebody has a laptop, and all these you connect to the home network. Now that home network can get overloaded and may not perform as expected. Therefore, he was trying to optimize. So you see, the Internet of Things, but there will be, okay.